ANC in KwaZulu-Natal expected to announce its preferred candidates for that conference. The provincial leadership has left it to the branches to make their picks. eNCA and Nkosazana Zuma are believed to be up for the challenge to take on Cyril Ramaphosa, among others, of course. KwaZulu-Natal branches have 2 days to complete their nomination. Senior reporter Siphamandla Goge has been following the story, and he joins us now. Sipa, before we get to all of that, which is fascinating in itself, you've also heard word from the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal on what they think the problem is at Eskom. Tell me more about that.
They say it boils down to one thing, and that is management and leadership, and therefore they are calling on the axing of the CEO of Eskom. They say the problem is not getting any better. There is no solution to the ongoing power cuts, and they believe that the CEO and his collective have been given enough time to fix the problem, but things are not improving. Hence, they are calling on their president and the minister who is responsible for the portfolio which Eskom falls under to act on the Eskom board. But most importantly, it appears as if the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal is of the view that the problem will be solved by getting rid of the CEO, whom they say is clueless. He has failed to deal decisively with the issue of the ongoing power cuts. They say he was brought in to stabilize Eskom, deal with the issue of load shedding, among other things, but he has since failed to do so. And they say come December, they want a leader who will be decisive in implementing the party's policies and resolutions, but most importantly, they want to fix the state-owned entities, including Eskom, deal with the issue of the energy crisis in South Africa. They are also calling on the incoming leadership that will be elected in December to do something about the e-tolls. So their comment on Eskom was in line and in context with what they want to see happening come December. But they say they cannot wait for December. The CEO of Eskom has to go, and that has to happen now. Bheki Mtolo is the provincial secretary of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. He explains.
The president must fire the CEO. If he does not fire the CEO, I think we're not going to be respected by society what we're doing about Eskom. That CEO must go. And then we get someone who knows Eskom. When he meets engineers from all these power plants of Eskom, people who won't speak above his understanding. A CEO will understand that when they speak, they technically say, no. That's nonsense. That's not how you run a power plant. Technically, because you don't get somebody who's got a degree in theology. Just because he's got a degree in theology, you want him to run your infrastructure. Because there's a mismatch there. The guy's got a master's in business administration. Then he knows nothing about engineering. We must get people here who are technically skilled.
All right, so that's their views on Eskom. Let's focus on the task at hand, because the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal has now got 2 days for their branches to nominate their top picks. My understanding of the process is that it has to come from the branch level up. But what we're seeing more and more is key members in the party putting their hands up. You've got a better idea of this than most of us. Of the following, who's actually put their hand up already to say, I'm keen, give me the nod? We hear about Lindiwe Sisulu, Nkosazana Zuma, Paul Mashatile, obviously Cyril Ramaphosa, Zweli Mkhize, and we also heard over the weekend the city press saying Jacob Zuma is likely to whisper in the ear of certain branch members saying, put my name up, I'm keen to be nominated as chairperson. What do you know?
Well, those who are in the political circles of former President Jacob Zuma would definitely want to see him coming back to occupy any of the leadership positions, or should I say one of the leadership positions within the ANC. But they are not gunning for the presidency, because based on what happened in 2007, Polokwane, when former President Thabo Mbeki wanted the third term, of course, he was defeated by former President Jacob Zuma. His supporters are of the view that, well, should I say, there are political talks to try and and see whether they can bring him back. Those who feel strongly that he should come back, they are saying there is a possibility that he can contest for the position of the national chairperson of the ANC. They say it has happened in the past with former senior leaders of the ANC who have decided to do that. But there are those who are saying the former president is not necessarily interested in coming back, but he has lobbied some of ANC structures in KwaZulu-Natal, Free State, the Northwest, Western Cape, if I'm not mistaken, to say, can you consider supporting Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma? Those who support him are of the view that he feels that Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma should be supported because of what happened in 2017. They believe that she can still come back and be one of the strongest contenders in this case. And of course, she has been nominated by her Ward 32 branch in eThekwini, which is the ANC's biggest region in South Africa. And also moving forward, there are other branches that are expected to nominate her moving forward. We can only find out next week by Tuesday or Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, depending on what the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal says about what is the majority view in terms of branch nominations. So branches of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal have been given 2 days to meet and finalize their branch general meetings and nominate for the leadership positions of the ANC in December. Of course, names such as Lindiwe Sisulu, Dr. Zweli Mkhize, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, President Cyril Ramaphosa, they feature strongly there. But remember, in terms of ANC politics, you can only be able to tell exactly and really when you go to the conference floor, and that's when branch nominations are announced. But for now, it's all up to the branches to nominate. Regions will consolidate, and then the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal will pronounce on the majority view as to whom do the branches want to see emerging and leading. So for now, we will continue to hear names and speculations, whether about former President Jacob Zuma, this leader or that leader. But once all of that is consolidated, presented to the conference, those who are nominated, they accept, and they need to meet they need to meet the threshold. By the way, being nominated is enough. Yes, if you've got, the highest number of branch nominations, you do meet the threshold, but you need that to get to the conference, meet the threshold, and then be elected. The people vote for you. So in KwaZulu-Natal, Dr. Zweli Mkhize, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma are some of the people who are being mentioned for the position of the president. And of course, there is President Cyril Ramaphosa in all of that. You come back now to the issue of the Secretary General. There are some branches, and not only in KwaZulu-Natal, but across South Africa, that are pushing from Dumiseni Ntuli, the former Provincial Secretary of the ANC, to be nominated and elected for that position of the Secretary General. So you will continue to hear this lobbying and strong lobbying, horse trading leading up to the Provincial Conference of the ANC in December.
Yeah, and I know that you've got a clip that you want to play us. I suppose, and yes, we are in the realm of speculation, as you've explained so ably. Jacob Zuma, though, surely would be facing the problem of the fact that he's on medical parole and not a well man, and that he's facing corruption charges. Isn't it a non-starter from the get-go?
Well, I guess it depends how you look at it. That's why those who don't believe that he must come back, they are saying, listen, the man has had his chance. He has led the ANC. He's got no interest in coming back. He has achieved politically. What else do you want? You have already led the party. Why do you want to come back? Allow other leaders, the young blood, to take over. Deal with your legal battles that you are facing. Not only the issue of the medical parole, the man is facing fraud and corruption charges. He needs to go back to the High Court division sitting in Pietermaritzburg. That matter is far from being over. In fact, it has not yet started, as many people would have wanted to see that moving with speed, including the former president himself, who has said that let's finalize this matter. It's been dragging for more than 2 decades now. So I do not think that those who are lobbying for him to come back as the national chairperson are really serious in a sense that they want to see him come back. But he does remain a political, player, very powerful and dominant in KwaZulu-Natal, in a sense that many people go to him for political counsel, whether you believe in his leadership style or not. But in the ANC politics, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal, former President Jacob Zuma remains a dominant player, including the newly elected leadership of the ANC. They do visit him to consult him. So I think what will cause the political conundrum in KwaZulu-Natal is what is being reported, that he has asked branches or certain leaders to support Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. And many people are saying, well, that advice or that suggestion came in very late, you know, taking into account that many people were thinking that Dr. Zweli Mkhize is the one who's running with his campaign, but now you've got Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. So I think those will be the dynamics to take into account moving forward. If we have time, let's listen to Peggy Mtolo explaining about the branch nomination processes.
We don't want to be rigid in this process. We want to be as much as possible, but we ought to bring it back to branches. It has happened for over the years that higher structures undermine the authority of branches sometimes, wittingly or unwittingly. But we have decided that let's put everything to branches, and then we go and look at the provinces and all that. The work has started already, but because other provinces that have announced have started, we are starting to negotiate with them just to hear their views, not because Tina we don't have a view, just to hear their views.